Today on the Rumors Comedy Cast, Dan Verville talks to Rob Pugh. Rob talks about the times he spent on Punk'd with Ashton Kutcher, and Dan Verville gives his Pornhub search recommendations. Don't miss it at Rumors Comedy.
Boom. Hey everybody, welcome to Rumors Comedy Cast, episode 36. We're here this week with Rob Pugh. Rob,
hello.
Welcome to the show.
Right on. It's good to be here.
Yeah, thanks for flying in all the way from Timmins.
Just to do this.
Just to do the pod, and then you're going to head out again.
Yeah. That's it. We just flew in. I'm on the midnight.
Heading out. What? Timmins, is that Shania Twain? Is that where she's
It
from?
is.
Yeah.
That is. And also Derek Edwards, right?
Oh, that's...
Because that bit, right?
Yeah,
the
that's my
old
fault.
second most famous person from Timmins is like being the second most famous person from Nazareth. You remember that joke?
I remember that joke.
There you go.
Yeah, well, how could you forget Derek Edwards? I can't believe I forgot that.
He's a gem.
He is. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Derek. He's not here. But you are.
Yep.
Here for 2 weeks here at Rumors.
That's right.
Tonight, how'd you feel? Tonight was awesome.
It was
I
good.
gotta say.
Yeah, it was nice and busy on a Tuesday. Are you kidding? This place was,
It's rocking.
it's the busiest Tuesday night going in the country, that's for sure.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just-
it is.
You know,
But no, it's not me. It's manager Tyler. He fills the place up. But no, you were. Yeah, I watched your set. I mean, I've seen you before, but yeah, you were just towing the line, just getting in there,
it was
getting
fun.
dirty.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good crowd. You know, we had a couple birthday parties, 3 birthday
Couple
parties.
18-year-olds,
Right?
Fantastic.
Right? Who doesn't like 18-year-olds out on a Tuesday getting shittered?
Well, they were with their whole family. I don't know.
Right.
Pedal down, they were going.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have picked them out because it was like it was a pretty old table.
Oh, yeah, it
right?
was.
Yeah, I had no idea. When was the last time that you had a birthday party that your family came to?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You
Can't
probably
say.
had a money cake, right? And you
Oh my God! Don't.
weren't into wearing shoes or anything at that
Not
time?
gonna lie. When I turned 23, into not wearing shoes. When I turned 23, huge party in my backyard, my parents' place.
Yeah.
My mom made me a race car cake. Right, like full graham wafer walls, no money involved inside the cakes. People were boozing it at this point too.
Yeah.
So we had that, had a piñata,
Yeah.
and just had the whole full 9. Had goodie bags.
Beauty.
It's an investment. That you got to be committed to that.
Right? You're grown up and you got a perfect,
got- yeah.
perfect kid's birthday party.
It was so good
That's right, man.
with booze. 'Cause that'd be the only reason why you'd want to do that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, well, you're invited to when I turn 30, I guess. We'll have a big bash.
I'll come out to your 30th.
Yeah.
I'll bring the money cake.
Next year, please do.
Right?
You mentioned something on stage tonight. Well, you mentioned a lot of things. You mentioned Farley Mowat on stage tonight.
Yeah.
Now, I've never heard
A Farley.
a Farley Mowat reference,
I know.
and I gotta say, props to that.
Right?
That's true
just because.
Canadiana.
Yeah, right. It's just because of the wolf thing,
Yeah.
you know? And, sometimes I talk about, I try to take that joke too far and talk about living on a mouse diet and stuff, and people are like, what are you talking about? Take them back to high school reading,
Going back to your grade 12 lit
Right?
class.
Yeah, I can't even remember the Farley Mowat for me. I think maybe 12 or 11.
I don't know.
Right?
I just know that was I was like, holy crap, like that's
Right.
That's going deep,
Yeah, right.
and people appreciated it.
You
get those
always get about
pockets.
7 people who really like it, and then a bunch of people who are like, what did he just say?
But those, you got to be honest though, those jokes, like those ones where you get like the 7 people laughing, at a certain point you're like, that's all that matters.
It feels good.
It feels
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Because you're like, oh, I got one over on the rest of the people.
Yeah.
Also feels good to get them all to laugh at one
Well,
thing too. But
yeah. I mean, if your main goal is making 7 people laugh at a time, you would not be here right now.
right. The day that happens, right, where you tell a Farley Mowat joke and the whole room loses it, though. You're like, where am I? First of all, where am I? I've got to be in the Northwest Territories, I suppose.
You have to be. That wouldn't. Yeah. Have you performed Northwest Territories? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. We performed in Yellowknife. Farthest north ever, for the most remote, is up in Alaska, at North Pole.
What?
North Pole, Alaska, they call it.
How was that?
Cold.
Yeah.
Real cold, yeah. Excellent, though. And I decided that the people that are from Alaska and live in Alaska are the biggest human beings I've ever seen before in my life.
Like physically, they're just massive.
Enormous, tall and heavy and all of it, right? Like
Why?
I don't know.
Just
Like they
genetics?
must. I'm thinking
stay
to
in-
survive in that frozen, hostile wasteland,
tundra?
you've got to put that kind of weight on, I guess. But wow, they were intimidating. I thought, well, this is like a football team or a basketball team full,
But it's just
It's all military oil guys, you know. Yeah.
So is that what you're doing, like a corporate out there, like corporate shows, or is it like they don't have a comedy club, or maybe they do. Maybe they have one up there. They might need it.
They I did a run up there. And this is it was just a few years back now, but it was through Doug Stanhope's management. Yeah, he just needed somebody to fill in because he couldn't do the tour or whatever, and we just met maybe 2 weeks previous in Vancouver.
Wow.
So he handed me the gig. It was a cherry thing, right?
That's
awesome. So I tell my girlfriend at the time, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to Alaska to go and do some gigs, and
for Stanhope,
it was crazy, right? And it was, that time of year where it's like always kind of bright, but not full sun, just it kind of stays on the horizon the whole time. It's always dusk or whatever it was.
Like, even in the middle, like, that must be freaky middle of the night.
It's weird. I don't know how you get comfortable around that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
There's never the darkness of night to hide your actions.
I wake up in the morning, I look at the window, I go, okay, it's about that time.
Yeah.
And you roll over and you look out and you're like, did I even sleep? You start to feel insane, And then you take your NyQuil and
you just conk.
And then you just conk, and then you wake up and you think it didn't work.
You're like, no, it didn't. I'm still awake.
It's good up there, man. I think the more you get around and see those kind of places, the more fun this job is.
That's true. Yeah. The furthest I went, I was up in Flin Flon.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, which was sweet, because I did the gig for the Flin Flon Bombers.
Oh, right.
So it's like for the hockey team.
Yeah.
So, like, talk about, like, your built-in, like, crowd.
Right.
Well, I mean, for guys like us who like to talk about hockey.
Right.
But yeah, it was sweet.
Flin Flon.
I drove to the Flan through a lot of very scary places. That's what I call it.
The Flan?
I call it the
that.
Flan now.
The Flan?
Yeah, I don't have time to say Flynn.
I used to date a Flin Floner.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she was cute, She's like, when are you going to come see me? Probably never. I don't know. You're in Flin Flon.
Yeah, I'm not driving up there.
Right? From where? It's
deadly.
Right?
Yeah.
It's in the middle of everything.
I heard the roads expand there because of the heat.
Really?
Yeah, it might be a lie. Maybe they're just fucking with me. I don't know.
They might be.
Yeah, they probably.
Right?
Yeah.
Just tell you shit.
Yeah, probably. I'm not from there.
Yeah, I like making up stuff like that too.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I entered a contest on your website.
Oh, yeah?
Just wondering what the prize is.
When was this? When did
Today.
You went on my website?
Yeah. I just wanted to get what is that? What's the contest for?
This, okay.
I'm very curious.
Anybody out there that's trying to get on my website
Check
right
out
now?
Rob Pugh's website.
Yeah, I think what shows up is like some sort of clothing racket. I don't know, my web, is it my actual website shows up?
Yeah, like it was like I Googled Rob Pugh, get your website.
Yeah.
And then this guy, like, it has like your whole, like, he moved here. He was living in a hostel.
Yeah.
Blah,
Did
blah,
all
blah,
this.
blah,
Yeah.
all this and that. And then it's just like contest.
Yeah.
And you click on contest and it's like enter the contest. So you fill out all your info, then it says winner will be contacted by telephone.
Right. Well,
So
you'll be contacted someday.
What is this?
My website to my knowledge, hasn't been up for years. I haven't paid for any of this.
awesome.
I don't know what's happening. Whatever you're going to win, I hope it's good. I think originally it was set up. I'd grabbed this new little management team, and they got real gung ho about it.
Yeah.
And they built a phone app. So when I was on stage, I'd just get on the phone app and sign up, and you'll get a free of the live taping.
Yeah,
I think it was
a
free copy of the live taping, and I do have that disc, and I haven't put it out on iTunes, and it's coming. I do have the disc. It's like every artist, you ever record something and then go, I can't stand to listen to my voice.
Yeah, I recorded the set tonight. I'm like, probably never going to listen to it. Like, you're like, probably some gems in there. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I look at this thing, I go, oh, it looks good. I'm not going to do anything.
How long have you had it recorded for?
This is a few years. Yeah.
This was like a theater show or something, or like a...
This is about 3.5 hours ago. No, I did it at the downtown Toronto Yuck Yucks. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. We taped this thing, and we did it first through XM and Sirius, who are great with comics and putting that stuff out there. But they send you a disc of your audio, And then my video guys got it, and then they lost that audio, so they had to use their audio off the cameras, and then it was...
They had to sync it up.
So it sounds like it was recorded in 1960 or something like that.
It's like a vintage Rob Pugh.
Right. So because it sounds bad, they changed the video to make it look like a security camera sort of deal.
Okay.
Just to build themselves, because it came out bad. It came out sideways, and now when I look at it, I go, well, it's kind of looks neat. You know? So I've been debating throwing it up on the old iTunes.
You can put it on Pornhub. Release it there. Get million views.
Pornhub. Do we get stuff from Pornhub if we say Pornhub?
I don't think. I hope
so.
Well, I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
Site. Sorry. Pornhub.
What a great site.
Yeah, right. It is.
We can't talk. Well, yeah, it is fantastic.
We can't talk about it?
Well, can we? Sure. Yeah, sure. I mean,
okay. Yeah,
Pornhub.
It's the greatest site I've ever been on.
The search engine functionality on that site, revolutionary.
Right?
No, I mean, it's just...
There's a little bit of everything for everybody on that site. You know? You could type in missionary and get the most boring pornography ever.
Yeah.
Or if that's how you roll. Right?
Yeah, you could
type in pumpkin,
anything.
Exercise bike, and you're going to get stuff. You're going to get a lot of stuff.
You could type in.
Have you tried it?
I have. There's one I've been shown.
Mad Lib with it.
Yeah, just play games.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets a little scary.
Yeah.
But there's one, shark fucking whale. Just punch that in, and it's fantastic. It's only 30 seconds long.
That sounds pretty harsh.
It's not that bad.
Is it? Is it fish? Is it fish on mammal?
No.
Okay.
Well, we took a turn here.
It's fish on mammal. But anyways.
And coming soon, after you've done searching for that, search for Rob Pugh comedy special.
There you go. It's right there on Pornhub. Yeah. Mom teaches teens. Rob Pugh's comedy special.
The worst comedy special launch of all time. Would you release that through Netflix? No, Pornhub.
Yeah.
Really going after the 16,
You know how many viewers
demo.
you'd reach? That's probably the best site to get on. If you could.
No, because
people would be upset.
Oh yeah, you'd like troll them into looking at it. You're like, oh, watch this. You're like, what is this? Some guy's security cam footage. When's the girl walk out?
What is this?
No. Anyways, God, what a website. Not as good as robpugh.com or whatever you're saying.
It's not even a website.
Contest.
Don't go to my website because it's not. It doesn't go to me. Nothing. I think half of the people that go to it get the website, and the other half people get like some coat outlet from Korea.
Weird. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, you can't do that.
I changed the. What do you call it? The people that put up the websites or the domain.
Like
whatever.
the hosting.
Yeah. So I went to a different host after a while.
Yeah. Figured it out.
Yeah.
But you've been doing comedy. You said on stage tonight, another thing I caught. You said for 19 years?
19 years. Yeah.
19 years.
October 6th. Yeah.
That was the anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. So
money cake
working
for
on
that,
20 years. Right. I wish a money cake. It's always money cake.
It has to be.
I like it. Yeah. 19 years, man. It goes so fast. It sounds like a long time, but it's just such a great job. So you don't, like if I was working at the battery shop with my old man, I don't know if I'd be bragging to anybody about 19 years on it, but I mean, that's job security for you, hey? I mean, how many people can work the same job for that amount of time, and we're still having a great time doing it. So
absolutely. But you didn't just stay in Canada. Like, you went to the US for a while.
Yeah.
And then you did like Punk'd and stuff. Like, were you like on the show?
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the show and I wrote for it.
You were the guy who ran in.
Yes, I was. Yeah. They hired me because they thought I was so weird. Just Canadians answer things differently than Americans.
Yeah, because
we just grow up differently. Yeah. So when they ask you questions that they think are direct or maybe offensive or should shock, we're not so scared by it because we talk horrible around our friends and stuff, right?
So what did they ask? Like, what was some of your responses? Like, do you remember what they asked you?
Well, my audition was to go to the MTV building, and they key you in, right? And you go through all the security and the car check and yada yada. And then I get up into the offices. I meet with the producer and the showrunner, Jason Goldberg, who's Punky Brewster's husband. And right away I was proud to meet this guy because I had such a thing for Punky Brewster when I was a kid. And then he goes, okay, I want you to go out into the office here and then just announce that you're like Ashton's #1 fan.
What?
You know, and they'll immediately get weirded out because you shouldn't be in here. So I did that. I announced I was his #1 fan, and then they called for security so loud. And I ducked into one of the interns' offices and I shut the door and wrapped my arms and legs around this chair. Right? Like, you're not moving me until I meet Ashton, sort of deal. They sent in full security. It got real hot around there for a minute. They picked up the chair. They took me through the door in the chair, took me to the elevator. And then the security escorted me downstairs and out into the parking lot. I get into the parking lot. My phone rings, and it's Jason Goldberg, the producer. He says, great, you got the job.
That is the best job interview of all time.
It was awesome. Yeah, I was shocked. Stunned.
Were you ever at any point concerned you're like, this security guard is going to like fucking punch me in the face or like...
No, he's such a little old man, but...
You're like, no, it's okay, sir.
Everybody was terrified. Like, they thought it was a real wacko, you know? And I don't blame him, right? Like, how do you get into this building? It's in Fort Knox, you know? You have to swipe and swipe and swipe and go through this door, that door, and how did you get in?
And you're at that layer already.
Yeah. And I was just there and just, you know, in everybody's kitchen right away. So... It was fun, you know, and people have a lot of questions to ask about that group, and I got nothing bad to say about Ashton Kutcher. People want to hear nasty stuff about him, but he's a really good guy and super intense and business-oriented, and I don't know, he was dating Demi Moore. I had all the respect in the world for him.
He was like, you dating Demi? Yeah, okay, whatever, you get whatever you want. You're at the top of the world.
Yeah, man.
At that point, like...
Super cool, and as being as young as I was doing that, it was... just an absolute pleasure, right? Like, I mean, everything went up from there. I started headlining stuff and get my name out there more, and what a great opportunity.
What was one of the best pranks you got to be a part of on that? And like, how many takes? That's another question. Like, how many takes did it? Like, was it just like you got one take, you got to nail this?
Nah, man, it's not really like that. I punked 16 people, and we took 8 of those. So, and then each of those situations takes 45 minutes, and they edited that down to 3, 4.
So it's exactly. So
you know, so you kind of keep people on the line, and then as soon as you see an in to upset them, you take it. Yeah, that's the whole rule, you know. And they get real serious about it. They're like, oh, what, you know, try and keep them, you know, angle them over here, and you're like, you can't. This is so easy. Once they say a thing, and then you just tug it until they get upset. Yeah. And with the ladies on the show that we had come in, like the Kaylee Cuoco and Jennifer Love Hewitts and Eve and
Eve, haven't heard that name in a while.
God, she's a rocket, an absolute rocket, and totally terrifying.
I could see that.
Yeah, she does not mince words at all. And that's where they thought I was really weird, right? Because I mean, she's Philadelphia street, right? And was like a dancer at one point. And my assistant for the prank was this fella Vince. And I asked him if he was born. He left my office door open during the prank, and I said, "What, are you born in a barn?" And he's a black guy, but I didn't think that anything I'd said was wrong. My parents would say that when I left doors open. And she lost her mind. She got really upset, and that's where my Canadian kind of came through. I had no idea what I had said, and she's upset and swearing at me, and now my assistant is swearing at her. And I'm terrified. I have this look just like, I don't know what's happening.
And this wasn't part of the show.
This was just... It ended up being the punk because she got so upset, and then they started talking all like street. I don't know. I can't, you know, like, they just were in each other's kitchen. And then there's garbage can was kicked, and then the desk was supposed to fall down was the whole prank. Yeah. And then it did. And it ruined the prank. She knew right because all the wires from the microphone kind of. Oh, so it all kind of came out.
And she's like, "What is that?"
And then she left, but we had had enough by then that it didn't matter. Oh my God! And there's nothing funnier than the prank being busted, and then your lawyer kind of runs out from behind the scenes, like, "Excuse me, Miss Eve, could you sign this so we can give you money and have this still be a show?" Yeah, you know, and. I mean, it was in over my head, way over my head.
But you bounce back. I mean, like, you're in over your head, but at the same time, like, I think that's probably the best part about it because you're so innocent, and you're like that comment, like, shut the door, raising a barn, like, come on.
Right?
I hear that. I'd be like, yeah, sorry, I should have shut the door.
Well, you just can't say things like that, I guess.
Apparently, you can't say anything anymore.
At all.
No.
Can't say anything at all anymore without offending some group.
But you, like, to be honest, like, your stuff is pretty, like, you go places where, like, for instance, like, I would not even try to dangle through some of the stuff you dangle through. Like, but you still feel you're like, you can still get away with it, though.
Are you talking about the building the child, the Build-A-Bear
Yes,
child?
the Build-A-Bear child.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about it or not, folks. You know, people to come watch that.
It's, I would love people to come watch it. The idea is though, and I got to thank one of my huge comic influences for pushing that out of me. It was Daryl Lennox. The middle joke is where that started. We invented it.
Yeah.
Line, and Daryl came up to me and went, "That's a good joke. Now it's just not enough." And he goes, I could write the rest of that joke. So he gave me a timeline. He goes, "You write this joke, otherwise I'm going to start doing that joke." And he's kidding, but it lit a fire under my ass.
Because you're like, yeah, I should do this.
Well, he's got catalogs of it. He doesn't need to take one of my corny jokes. And then
Daryl Lennox, Club
right?
Rumors.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
He's the best. Not as good as Rob Pugh, but
no, he is. I beat him in a competition. I beat Daryl Lennox in a competition one time, and I'll never let him forget it. But so he brought that out, and so I kind of balled it around there, and finally it just kind of came out. You know, the white face, want a job or want a job.
Yeah, like when you said that tonight, everyone's just like,
yeah, right. The first time I told that joke, I was terrified. Right, I just had a flop sweat going into it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Right, someone's gonna knife me after this. You know, I'm doing it downtown Toronto, going, oh no. Well,
we did it, and you're like, yeah.
But that's what we do, right?
Yeah,
you push it and see what happens, and if people like it, they like it. If they don't, then rewrite it.
And you get away. I mean, like, honestly, you get away with stuff. Like, your attitude is so, like, I don't know how to describe your attitude. It's just, you just do it, and you're just like, yeah, you know what? Well, fuck it. Like, if you're gonna be, like.
Well, we're up
and
here.
I think it's true. It's true. But I think as Canadians too, everyone in the crowd's like, "Well, yeah, he's up there. He's up there." He was gonna say it. Yeah,
you gotta try. You gotta try something. You know.
Yeah.
You do what makes you laugh. Otherwise,
what's the point?
What are you doing it?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we gotta get going. But before we go, we know you're a huge Pens fan.
Yeah, huge Pens fan. Yeah.
Just light up the Twitter timeline with all the Pen stuff.
That's all I do. Yeah, I tweet nothing comedy.
At Rob Pugh _.
Yeah.
And if you want the latest updates on Pens.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Good.
You want to know where it's at and what I think of our D Corp? I'll let you know.
How? What's your prediction for the season? Do you like the Kessel pickup?
No, I'm not a fan of Phil Kessel at all.
Here we go.
I mean, he's a great goal scorer, but I just don't think he fits the. I mean, any team would be lucky to have a guy that can fill the net like that. But Sidney Crosby's a north-south hockey player, and we already got a swishy, circling Malkin. So another swishy circling guy is maybe a little overkill. I like the straight lines guys, the hard-nosed dudes. Yeah. I was actually hoping for Brandon Saad as a huge pickup because he's a Pittsburgh native.
Massive.
It would have been good and flown under the radar, and we could have used a little heart and soul and paid him a lot less than Phil Kessel. And I think Chicago would have got off happy with as much as we were willing to give away.
I don't understand why Chicago let Saad go. Is it just like the cap hit was?
I don't think they could pay him right after they win a
after
cup.
The
don't they have to
run? Yeah. Oh, that's right. You guys need that bonus money.
They
got to
pay that bonus money. Yeah. Yes, I mean, and that speaks to that team. They just they get dinged every time they win a cup, and then they come back and win another cup.
And they just pick up another rookie and they're like, oh, you just fit this well, you fit this well, you're good to go. Like they got.
So do you think those boys, if they come to Winnipeg, you guys will be out, out the spots?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You think old Johnny Sirius would go out to the old gambling booby spots?
No, probably not.
No,
I don't know.
I think Kaynard probably go though.
Yeah, but that would be Kaynard. Kaynard would go.
I think Kaynard
would go.
He'd be a gamer.
A great time. He'd be a gamer. Yeah, we'd all be on the news the next day.
Yep.
That whole situation was.
Yikes, huh?
What the hell?
What happened?
Now it's all gone though. Just washed away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He just
tampered evidence. I don't know.
Right, he starts the first 5 games with 900 points, and like the Kobe Bryant thing, it just kind of went away. Oh, you're awesome. We should shut up about this.
Yeah, exactly.
It might just be a Chicago thing because Michael Jordan was a bit of a deviant in his days, but he was just
Michael.
No one wants to believe the bad stuff about Mike, but great basketball player, from what I understand.
No one wants to hear the bad stuff.
No,
but I got stories.
Oh, there's lots. There's lots of Mike stories.
I've heard like some little underlying things.
Yeah. There's some pretty. But I mean, everybody's got a past or whatever. But
that's the thing. I mean,
but if you're, he's like a god in Chicago, no doubt. So I used to joke. I was like, Michael Jordan probably could have set his wife on fire in the front yard during those huge championship runs, and Chicago would have been, nah, we're good. He's good.
Yeah. What's
right?
that? No,
he's a deacon at the church. Yeah. Yeah, but that's what it is, and that's why we all want to be
those guys.
Those guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I heard stories like Gretzky back in the day, like never used to get in an elevator by himself. I mean, no, sorry, that's incorrect. By himself with women or something.
Oh yeah.
Like he would always be like, no, because there's too much risk involved.
Right.
Right.
Smart.
That's why I think, it's super smart. Like I think Patrick Kane needs like a life coach with him at all times.
Sure. Right. Who punches a taxi?
Yeah, that's not a cop. Like that cop that's with him driving him around is like, no, I saw nothing. Well, yeah, okay, you're on his payroll, so
sure.
But get like a third-party life coach.
Yeah,
it could be you. Hey.
It's a life coach. For some reason, I'm picturing Will Smith and Hitch.
That would work.
Falling around Patty Kane.
I'm picturing Rob Pugh and Patty Kane lighting up the town.
Yeah, his life doesn't get any better if I'm his life coach.
No, that'd be fantastic.
For sure. You want to go back to the condo in Holland one?
Yes.
Yes. I got Skyrim, pal.
Big 2 weeks here for Rob Pugh. Skyrim.
I'm stoked.
It's going to be awesome. But anyways, come check him out, Rob Pugh. Thank you so much for
thank you,
joining
Dan.
us.
Great
Follow
job.
us at Rommers.
Rommers.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about
Rommers.
Patty Kane.
Ruomers.
Rumors Comedy Club. No, Rumors Comedy Club. It's Rumors Comedy on Twitter and on YouTube. Just Google it. You'll find it. I'm Dan Verville at DV Comedy. This is Rob Pugh at Rob Pugh _ after for all the latest Pens updates. And there are jokes in there too. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Beauty.
When you said deviant, I was going to be like, oh, Dan has his own show called Deviant.
The Vegas trip.
We went to Vegas and we started this mock fake TV show that he was the star of, and called it The Deviant, and tried to convince everybody that he was this big star that they haven't seen.
It's a good idea.
And people believed it. Like
yeah, of course they did.
Well, the funny thing is, we went up, I was like, have you seen this TV show Deviant? It's like, yeah, I have. Just catching people in lies over and over again, and it was amazing.
Gotta love America for that. Would you like to be on an episode? I sure would.
Sure. And like no one would even Google it. Like you'd think like you just Google it and be like, you're lying.
Yeah.
But no one would Google it.
Right.
I signed
IMDb, nothing.
No. We just kind of downplay it. We're like, yeah, he doesn't really like the attention. That's why he's downplaying it. But yeah, he's like a fucking big star. So it was me, Trix, and then Matt from the Laugh Shop in Calgary, and I.
Matt.
Was out, it was for that World Series in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
And these two guys were in it, and we just were fucking around in Vegas, and we just kept telling it. Like, Dan got so uncomfortable so many
times. It was because I'm the worst. I hate lying to people, and they're like, no, that's perfect because you're gonna be the worst because people are actually gonna believe you because it looks like you're gonna crap your pants because you're lying.
I hate lying to people.
There was a guy who gave us his card who was actually like a serious eye-up Vegas guy.
Yeah. And he gave us shots of Yag.
Yeah, he thought we were like some serious, I don't know, TV guys or something.
That's great.
It was amazing.
He's like,
That's
great. Here you go. But then we asked the best
Deviant,
part, the Deviant, yeah. And we created a whole backstory.
Great title for a show, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. The whole backstory. Yeah.
I want that to be a show.
Starring Dan Verville.
People were
I'd watch.
Because we said it was from England.
That's right.
Because we said it was from
what
England.
What a great rub, okay.
And they're like, well, why don't you have an accent? And I was like, well, I was born in England, grew up in Canada. Yeah, then I went back to England after I did my little acting career in Canada. And now the show's big there.
Yeah.
And it worked. And the funniest was like at one of the last ones we did, Tyler's like, oh, you gotta watch out, like this guy, he just wants to hang out and play roulette or whatever. And Tyler's like, you ever seen the show like The Deviant? And then this guy's like, British accent, I watch it all the time. And it's like, what?
Oh, I would have fallen over. That's great.
And he's like, I'm going to tell my wife that I met you. Like, I'm just here for a gamble, no trouble. Just enjoy your time. I'm like, oh my God, what is this?
Like, just people lying to, I guess, fit in or, I don't know. It was just crazy. Like, every time someone would lie, you almost want to call them out, but you're like, oh, this is just too amazing.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, the show sounds for real. The Deviant, you're like, oh, that sounds like
Maddie
a great...
sold it so
Matt, oh,
Oh, well, did he have red hair or purple or whatever fuck color it is, of course,
hair.
right? Well, whatever the color of his hair is in those white shoes, it'd sell the shit out of the Deviant. I'd buy it. I'd buy it.
Sold it so hard because he'd go up to people and just be like, hey, can you sell a bet? Do you recognize this guy? And it'd be me, and I'm just actually literally mad. And I'm like, fuck, like, stop doing this. And people are like, who, that guy? And I'm just like, oh. And they're like, no. And then he goes, Tyler, see, I told you, they don't even know he's whoever or whatever.
Yeah.
And that started the whole conversation.
That's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's just fun to do to a guy when he's not expecting it either, too, right?
Oh yeah, Matt really sold it.
Oh my
That's
God.
great. That's a great way to do it, too. Do you reckon? We settle a bet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. Well, for sure, I've seen the show. That's awesome.
I almost said that. I'm like, oh, maybe we should talk. I'm like, nah. All right. So,
Yeah, you just did that.
I know. Keep her rolling. Long at.